All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Wednesday morning Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. I hope everybody is doing well today. So we're going to dive in. As always, let's turn off all distractions, prepare your minds and your bodies to engage as you guys always do. And for the courtesy of everybody on the call, please ensure that your mic is muted if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment. All right. So this morning, what we're going to do is I'm going to take some requests from you guys to start out. We'll take a look at the fundamentals first. But then I want to take some requests from you guys, see what you guys are looking at, what trades you may be in. We'll take a look at those charts, and then at the end, we'll wrap up with some of the thoughts that I have. All right, sound good? So let's. So while I go through the fundamentals, you guys take a minute and drop any pairs that you have your eyes on in the chat for me, and we can just flow right into that after the fundamentals. All right. Slide over here. All right. So real quick, drop me one in the chat if you guys can hear me okay, and if you can see my trading economic screen. All right, cool deal. So UK inflation above expectation. And inflation rate in the UK rose to 10.1% in September from 9.9 in August, matching the 40-year high from July and surpassing market expectations of 10%. With most upward pressure coming from food and energy, as we know, right? Still have those energy issues as that side of the world continues to separate from the Russian supply. The core rate, which also excludes energy and food and alcohol and tobacco, rose to a record 6.5% compared to expectation of 6.4, right? So inflation is still pressing in the UK, okay? Still pressing in the UK. So those pound pairs will definitely be impacted by this, and we'll wait to see how the Bank of England responds when it comes rate statement time, okay? So we'll keep our eyes on that. All right. Then Eurozone inflation rate, highest on record. And the Eurozone annual inflation rate was revised slightly down to 9.9% in September from 2022, from a preliminary estimate of 10%, right? So still high in the Eurozone, which leads to investors leaning towards the ECB continuing to be hawkish as they discuss further rate increases in the coming weeks. All right. So those are the two major pieces from a fundamental perspective. All right. Over to the Forex calendar. We got coming in at 8:30, Canadian CPI, right? Looking at the inflation coming out of Canada,
that could very well have a pretty high impact on the market today. So keep your eyes peeled there. And then later on tonight, employment change and unemployment rate coming out of Australia. Okay. So that is that. Hold on 1 second, everybody. All right. Cool deal. So we'll hop over to the charts. Do you guys have any pairs that you have your eyes on that you want me to take a look at? No? Pound Aussie. All the pound pairs? Okay, we'll do that. Cool deal. Ebony, you still in that that Euro NZD short? You do still hold that trade?
Yes,
good job. Great work. Great work. I was looking at it this morning. It's starting to really move in your direction. So that's awesome. All right, so we'll take a look at these pound pairs. Start off with the pound Aussie. So we've been talking about this for last night, and I was a little bit uncertain, right? But from a daily time frame perspective, right? Shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. Okay. Good morning, Shauna. 118, 127 zone, right? So we have this 80-20 setup in front of us on the daily time frame. Okay. Got a cluster to break through to get down to that 382, right? But from where price currently is, that's 800 pips to the downside, right? So we want to see on the lower time frames, we want to watch this to see if we're able to get this breakdown to occur. Okay. So as we move to the 4, you barely worked at 382 here. So you got a 382, but kind of a double top scenario here. And we started to break down. So what I was watching is this zone right here, right? To see if we get price to close below it. We did barely close below it. This last 4-hour candle. I'm waiting to see what this candle does for us here, right? If we get a continued bearish move, then I'm looking to get short here, playing that off of the daily time frame, right? And looking at those lower levels. Okay. So from a higher time frame perspective, that's what I'm looking at. And I'll bring those levels down. Let's go back to the daily. All right. So here on the daily at 382. This 382 is there. 618 is here. All right. We'll drop these down so that we can see them on the lower time frames as well. Okay. So those are our targets there, right? From a daily time frame perspective. So quite a ways to go. We got a lot of zones, previous zones to break through. So this is what I'm looking at for this to make this move to the downside. Now, if we turn over and press back up, obviously looking at the extension of 186 as the next target there. So that's the 4-hour look. When you get down to the 1, you got a similar deal as far as a 80-20 scenario, right? Shallow retracement, didn't get to that 382, pressed up, and then we did get that trend line break, right? And we also got cloud break. Okay, so we got two levels of confirmation here that I'm keeping my eyes on, right? I want to see if this lagging span is able to push through this cloud. Okay. Once we get that to push through the cloud, that'll give me some confirmation, that final piece that I'm looking for that move to the downside, right? It's already started to make its way. Still got quite a ways to go. So that's why I'm waiting for that additional confirmation. And then we'll be able to scale in as it continues to move. So this is look on the 1, right? Headed down to that 382 on the 1, but got quite a ways to go. And then as price does continue to move, if we break out of this last zone here, right, then it'll be really a go for this last 400 or 500 pips to the downside here, 600 pips after that. So that's what I'm looking at. This zone is going to be really, really critical. If we're able to break through it, then we'll be in a good space to really make that move to the downside. Okay. Questions on this pound Aussie?
Yeah, I definitely will keep my eyes out on this area. So, because you're not necessarily saying that you're waiting for this fib to be taken out. It's just this chunk.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So really it's this level right here, right? On the 4-hour time frame, I want to see a stronger close below that level. You see it's kind of indecisive right now, right? Barely made it below. So I want to see a stronger close below that level. And that this level is the key one for me. That will give me an entry opportunity on it. So no, I'm not waiting on the 1-hour fib to get taken out. It's more about this level right here and if we're able to stay below it or not. Right. So that's more of what I'm looking at there is, can we stay below this level? And if we do, if that level holds, then that's confirmation for me. And on the 1-hour time frame, got the cloud break and the trend line break as well. So multiple levels of confirmation. The reason that I'm using all of those levels as confirmation is simply because of all the back and forth we got happening coming out of the UK, right? So that's why I'm using multiple levels of confirmation on it to keep me honest on that.
That
Make sense?
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Any other questions on this pound Aussie? No. Give me 1 second. Good morning, everybody that just joined us. Get everybody unmuted. Benny, good morning, bro.
Ryan, what's up, man?
Hey, not too much, man. Not too much, man. Making it happen this morning.
I hear you. Good morning, everybody.
You got anything from a fundamental perspective, or any confirming thoughts on this pound Aussie?
No, man,
about it last night.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I guess the UK inflation came in above expectations. Surprise, surprise, right? So we'll see. I know that pound dollar is starting to move a bit to the downside. So I have to read deeper into it to see, because higher inflation, you expect the BOE to do something, but coming out of the turmoil, we talked about a little bit last night, right, where you had the discrepancy between the fiscal policy and monetary policy that they seem to be trying to straighten out, but who knows what the markets think about it right now. But I see it's moving to the downside. You got quite a few pairs moving to the downside, some of we're expecting. So again, it's just one of those, hey, it's the middle of the week and the market is finally starting to move type of things,
Yeah, for sure. Cool deal. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, cool deal. So what's the pound Aussie? Pound CAD. So here on the pound CAD, right? Similar scenario, shallow retracement, push up to that B boundary. I'm starting to get turnover. This daily level here at 155 is trying to hold, right? So we're pressing down back below that level right now. So we'll see if we get that level to hold and get us a deeper push here on this pound CAD. Okay. So 80-20 scenario on the daily, drop to the 4. We did get to that 382 here on the 4, but this daily level came into play. See, we had consolidation here, right? And as we zoom out, this is our capital fib. Okay. That capital fib, we're sitting at an 8.6 retracement. So we got some confirmation here from multiple time frames that we could be in for a move to the downside here. Now, with that back and forth on the pound, still play these, with your additional levels of confirmation. Okay. But if this thing does get moving and break below some of these previous monthly levels, right, we could see ourselves get back to at least this 140 level. Okay. So we'll watch it and see. A lot of work has to be done though for that to turn over and press back down to the downside though. Okay. But we'll see if that daily level holds. Pull that out right now. We'll just look at it from this perspective, right? On the 4, we'll drop our trend line, run it to the upside. Okay. And we see we got a break of that trend line right here. Okay. So it got a break of the trend line. We'll see if that daily level continues to hold. If it does, right, we can see this move at least back down to this level. And then we'll see if we are able to start breaking some levels to continue lower from a higher time frame perspective. Down on the 4, right, we're starting to get some confirmation on the cloud, right? Cloud break, lagging span hasn't broken through just yet, but nice push to the downside so far. Okay, we did again here on the 1 get to that 382 level, right? But we're turning over on the higher time frames. Okay, so this is one to keep your eyes on, right? The confirmation I'm waiting on here is this lagging span to breakthrough price, because again, with the back and forth in the UK, right, and this being a longer potential move opportunity, I'm looking for these additional points of confirmation and potentially a pullback, right, to give me that entry opportunity there. Okay, so we could still see something like this and then see a push. Okay, so that's what I would need for this one, but we could be in for these reversals to happen and these deeper retracements to come on these pound pairs. So that's what I'm looking for there. We got our cloud twist, we got our TK cross Kumo twist TK crossover, right? Lagging span is below price, right? And the last piece is for that lagging span to break through the price for me. Okay. If you're looking at it from a trend line perspective, okay. There's your trend line break there. Okay, so you got your break. If you didn't enter it off that break, see if you get a pullback, and then look for that entry opportunity short. Okay, so that's the pound CAD. Any questions there?
No, sir.
Sweet. Cool deal. All right. Pound dollar. All right, we're looking at this level last night, this monthly level. Price is turning over, right? Price is turning over, starting to give us this pushback down to the downside. All right. You said we like for it to stay below that level. We get here to the 4, right? This is that level that starting to push out of, give us that push down to the downside. Okay. Thought I had a fib on here. There it is. Okay. So this is that deep retracement, right? We got a 786 retracement there, push down, nice little pullback. Now we'll see if we can get some momentum to the downside, continue this move, right? But overall, this is the smaller or larger, depending on how you look at it, range. So we'll need to break out of this range to the downside here and break below this 109 level for that to continue moving down. So we'll at least be able to get this back to the bottom of this range, which is 300 pips down, right? And then we'll see if we have that momentum to break through and continue lower. Okay. But right now, moving to the downside, nonetheless, off of that nice deep retracement level. Okay. If you get to the 1, right? This one was kind of choppy, but you see, didn't quite get a double top scenario, but we got a retest of that level. And now we're broke back below that trend line. Okay. It's that downtrend line coming off of the high. Okay. So we broke back below that trend line. We'll see if we get this thing to continue moving down at least to that 109, 260 level. Okay. Before continuing lower than that. All right. Ms. Ebony, what's up?
Why on that daily, I think it's the daily fib, that lowest low is not considered the swing low.
This move was crazy impulsive. that you're right, that fib should look different. It should be like this. It should look like that. But this this 1,000 pip move to the downside and 1,000 pip move back to the upside happened in a day's time, really, really quickly from a higher time frame perspective. And I think it just threw the algorithm off.
Okay.
It was freezing and such at that time too. So yeah. Yeah. Cloud on the 1 hour. Yes, man. There's your 1 hour there. You got your break below the cloud, Kumo twist, TK crossover. Okay, so we got most of those confirmations, right, on that move to the downside. So we'll continue to watch it and see. We'll continue to watch it for sure. Questions on the pound dollar?
Yeah, I was a little confused about this one because I'm like, should I be playing it up or should I be playing it down? I know as far as the fundamental goes, we're still thinking that the dollar still has some bullish pressure in it, but I don't know. Kind of off on this one.
Yeah, and understandable. So from a higher time frame perspective, right? And I'll take a look at the dollar as well. But you got that 50% retracement there, right? If we bounce over to the dollar real quick, you'll see what's kind of causing this move, right? The dollar was hovering down here at the bottom of this range, and we got price to turnover and press to the upside, right? So we got some bullish action here that's really driving that price to the downside, right? So that's the catalyst there. The dollar's picking up some of that momentum to the upside. So, and that's another reason, right? So the top of this range will kind of be the bottom of this range, right? At daily level. So that's going to be interesting. If the dollar breaks out of that and pushes to the upside, right, you'll see this continue pushing to the downside, right? Overall, our bias is short. It's just a matter of when we get that full follow through. But that's kind of my gauge from a DXY perspective, and comparing it to this pair is that range, and this is that range on both of those. So the dollar's moving, so it's causing these crosses to move also. Does that make sense, Evan? Cool. Look at the 15. Sure thing. There's a nope, that's not the 15. There's your 15-minute look there. What you looking for here on the 15-minute, Miss Carolyn? Right. What confirmations are you looking for to get short off the 15-minute? All right. This is your AB boundary. You got a 50% retracement. Price broke down. Break and retest to this lower level here. Gotcha. Okay. Cool deal. All right. Hovering at it right now. All right. She's looking at this level of support here. She's looking for a break of that level and a retest to continue to the short side. All right. Cool deal. So that's the pound dollar. Let's look at this, the beast, pound yen. Let's come back to the 15. So we hit the D extension off the daily time frame, right? And we're looking for a swing high to form to give us a new AB boundary. Today closes lower, right? We'll have that, with that being our high point, right? So that fib will look like that if this one stays lower. Okay. So that'll be our fresh AB boundary. Now, this level has been key for quite some time, right? Back to April, we've been playing at this level, right? This is the 5th time being in the zone. We actually broke above it here, right? And now we're pulling back some. So the question is, do we fully break back below this level to continue lower, or is this just a retest of this bullish candle, right? It could just be a retest of this zone, and then we could see this push higher, right? We know from a yen perspective, policy is still really, really loose, right? So this cluster is going to be key for us. We struggle to break above it. Now will we stay above it? Okay, so that's the daily look. Drop to the 4. Excuse me, you got a 382 already, right? And then this was that push. So starting to turn over, but again, these lower levels are going to be key. If we break below them in a strong bearish fashion, right, then we could see more of a continued move to the downside. But if it's just choppy, then it's likely that this could continue to push to the upside there. Okay. So this one will be interesting to watch. See if we're able to break out of this zone in a strong fashion to the downside. Okay. On the 1, you got a fresh AB boundary, right? Hovering at the cloud right now, getting close, right? Don't quite have those confirmations just yet off the 1-hour time frame. So be patient here, right? This is more of a sideways push. So even if you were running your trend line, right, there's still consolidation that we'd have to consider. Okay. So on this one, right, be patient, be patient, be patient. If you didn't get in off that swing high off the B boundary, right, allow those confirmations to be met, and then you'll be able to get the bulk of the move to the downside here. If we get those confirmations in the break of this cloud. Okay. So be patient on that one. Don't allow it to rush you. The ATR on this one is high, so those moves will they'll be there. They'll be there. Okay. So be patient. Let's see. Trend line will look like that. Okay. And the reason it would look like that for you new folks is this is consolidation, right? This is just a sideways push. We didn't get a strong bearish move. So with that consolidation, you move your trend line to the outermost point. Okay. So that's why the trend line is there. Okay. So that's the pound yen. I'm waiting on more confirmation here before I get short. Okay. Questions here? Nope.
Nope, I think we're good. Huh?
Cool deal. Let's take a look at pound Swiss.
That Swiss yen is dropping too.
Swiss yen is, oh, it is. It is, yes. Yes, I'll definitely pop over, take a look at it. Here on this on the daily time frame, this pound yen, shallow retracement, right? Push that B boundary. We're getting a sideways push. Okay. So this daily level is going to be key. Are we able to stay below it, right? Or do we push above and push into this 118, 127 zone? Okay. So that's what I'm looking at from a daily time frame perspective. We could get that to turn over at some point, right? So we drop down to the 4. Similar, it's kind of similar to that pound yen where you got a 382 here on the 4, and you're starting to get this sideways movement here. Okay. So if we're able to stay below this daily level, right, then we'll look for price to turn over and continue pressing deeper and give us a deeper retracement off the 4-hour time frame. Okay. So let's look on the 4, and then on the 1, right, similar deal. Similar deal. Okay. So another potential scenario here, right, is head and shoulders pattern right here. Right, if we get a push back up, something like that. So that could be our reversal signal on this one if this right shoulder forms. Okay, so watch that too. If we break above that temporarily, but not able to break out fully to the upside, watch for that to turn over and press back down. So that could be our reversal signal there within that Fibonacci sequence. Okay. Questions on this pound Swissy? 80-20 on the daily is the overall look for potential move down. Okay. No? All right. Cool deal. Pound New Zealand, then we'll take a look at that the Swissy yen. That's on your ones, 80-20 scenarios, moving to the downside, right? On the daily, here you are, right? These pound pairs looking similar, right? Shallow retracement, didn't quite get to that 118 level, but we're turning over now, right? Coming back down to this weekly level, previous weekly level. We'll see if price is able to stay above that or if we start getting more of a pushback to the upside, okay? So 80-20 on the daily, just like some of those others, okay? 4-hour time frame. Here we did not get that 382, right? We did not get that 382, pushed into that 118, 127 zone, and we turn over, right? So we're pressing to the downside. We want to break through these levels, obviously, right? And then get that continuation move deeper, okay? So these levels are going to be key as we approach them, but this one is already on the go quite a bit. High ATR already down 400 pips to the downside, okay, out of that 118, 127 zone. My bad, go back on the one. Clear this up. Like so, right? 118 to 127 zone, got to push to the upside, didn't get to that D extension, and then we got that turnover, right? So that on the 1 hour, that 382 is still 450 pips away from where price currently is, right? So still a decent move to go. Just want to look for, if you're looking to get into this, right? You can run your sub fibs and look for an entry opportunity off of a potential retracement. Okay. This one is weird. Let's see. So it would be like this. And that'll be your fib there. Okay. So you got a 618 retracement matching the extension there off the sub fib is at 196 below that weekly level. Okay. So if you get a pullback here, retest this consolidation, that could give you a potential higher price to then look short and give you that potential move to the downside, right? Where you look at it clear on the 15, run the fib off the high, bang. Right? So off the 15, this gives you a clearer look, right? That pullback to this previous consolidation zone, right? This move here, if we get that, that could give you a clean entry opportunity off the 15-minute time frame to then get short and play this to the downside. Okay, so watch for that for intraday traders, right? Opportunity, counter trend opportunity here, 618, 786 level, and then look to get short. Okay. That makes sense? Questions on the pound New Zealand?
No, sir.
No. Cool deal. Cool deal. All right, let's take a look at that Swiss yen. Been watching this one, man. Been watching it. Weekly, you got an 80-20 scenario, right? It's that consolidation push back up into that zone off of a shallow retracement down to your daily, right? You got a wick down, right? Wick down to a 50% retracement level, right? Well, no, that should be boundary. So your retracement still, right? 38.2 with this move here. We got to push back up. Now we'll see if we get this thing to turn over and press deeper. Okay. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right. So looking at this, right? Look to see if we get this thing to turn over and press to the downside there. Okay. There's a drop to the 4. Okay. This is that wick down to that 382 here on the 4-hour after the shallow retracement, right? We'll see if we get this to push lower and see if we're able to break back below this 143,787 level. Okay. As we get to the 1, you got 80-20 scenario here. Shallow retracement, push just shy of that 118 level, starting to get that thing to turn over and press down now. Okay. Starting to get a TK cross over here on the 1, right? Don't have that Kumo twist yet on the 1, but lagging span has broken through price. So we're starting to get some momentum to the downside. We'll see how deep this carries us, right? We'll watch this 1-hour fib on this move to the downside here. Okay. So it's on the move. Finally, it took its time, but we're getting there. Okay. We're getting there. Questions here on the pound Swissy. Miss Carolyn, the 618 retracement level is the market taking back 61% of the move. The extension level is the matching extension for those retracement levels between the 236 and the 618. All right. If you dive into your training, we break down the Fibonacci sequence, and we break down those levels in pretty deep detail. So dive into the training, and as you get to that section, we go really, really deep into those levels and how they work as far as energy trampolines, retracements, and extensions are concerned. Okay. Limit got hit 149,339. You had a sell stop on that, Joy? I gotcha. Okay. Good job using your different order types. Awesome. All right. Any other questions on that Swiss yen? Benny, you got any other pairs you got your eyes on, man?
No, not really. Just the ones that we went over last night, but you covered those this morning. You know, the triple top on the 1 hour on the Euro CAD. That's made moves since
that started to move. Yeah,
we covered it. You know, over 100 pips down. Of course, we just covered that Swissy yen. You touched the Euro Aussie, right?
I did not touch the Euro Aussie yet. No.
The Euro Aussie, that daily, we last night spotting that 80-20 on the daily off that sub fib. You can see it starting to make its way down. So the Euros seem to be moving a little bearish this morning. But technically,
back below that level.
Yeah, like technically we were set up pretty good for that, right? So Euro Aussie is making a move to the downside, and you covered the Euro CAD, and that's continuing to push down, right? Like we said, that triple top, and so those are huge moves, man. Being patient, just waiting for them.
Yeah,
Switching in, you just covered, so that's hundreds of pips right there that the market is already moving. It's moving pretty good. So what else?
This is another one. Euro yen.
Yeah. Just about to say that. I was talking about the Euro yen, and then
Euro yen, right? That's the 1 hour look there. Come back to the daily, right? I manually drew that in. If that's going to be our swing high, we're getting this press down now, right? We hit that D extension there. Drop to the 4. There we go. That's our capital fib on the 4, right? We got a 382. We pushed up, broke above that daily level. So we'll see if we're coming back to retest or if we're able to break back down below that and continue lower there, right? But on the 1, this is what you got here. Shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone, right? Getting your turnover. You got your TK crossover there. Lagging span is broken through price. We'll see if we get a cloud twist. Okay, but that's where we are on the move.
That's on the downside. That's on the 1.
Yes, sir.
What does it look like on the 15 with the cloud?
Oh yeah, we broke through that. Bang.
Yeah.
Yep. On your fib to the upside. That's your 15-minute look. 80-20 scenario also. Bang. Right. So that's one that's on the move. Still at a pretty high spot, right? Could get a pullback, right? So be patient on it. See if we get a pullback there. You can even run it'd be tight on the 15, but you could run a sub fib on a 15 and look for a high price into this short, right? See if you get a swing low to form here, give you a new sub fib top down, right? Get your price back up here around 146. Good entry opportunity there to get back short, right? And see if we get this thing to get down to at least that 38.2. Okay, you guys follow on that?
Yes.
Maybe. Got it. Cool deal.
Yeah. Also, that euro dollar on the 4, they gave that nice correction to the upside, and then replayed that correction to the upside, but it's turning back over in the zone. So again, the theme
below that
continues to be that those euros are, at least with this morning's opening so far, seems to be turning over and moving bearish.
Yeah.
Pretty much across the board in the early opening. So London session.
Yes, sir. So this is one we talked about yesterday morning, right? We want to see it stay below this 98.57 level, right? We got that push up into that zone, and this is that turnover, right? Pressing back down to the downside. You drop down to the 1, right? Add a fib running from the top. Nice 618 retracement, right? In line with that daily level. And you got your breakdown, right? Matching the extension is here at 96.021. Okay. So overall, in these dollars, I'm bearish. We'll see if we're able to break below this weekly level, but I'm looking at 93 cents as a next longer term destination if we're able to break these levels in sometime in the near future. If not, at some point we'll get to that level, I believe. All right. Questions on the euro dollar? Carolyn waiting on the retest. I did not check oil from last night. Let's look at it. Hold on one second. Oil. All right. Retracement. That's the 1 hour look. Drop back to the 4. All right. We ran those fibs off the high there. Fresh AB boundary. Trying to get this retracement to happen. Right. Trying to get this pullback here. We'll see if, right, we talked about this crown pattern here. Right. We'll see if this right shoulder is able to form. I mean, this right tip is able to form. Right. See if we're able to get that. So we'll watch this closer to see what happens there. Okay. Bounce back to the daily time frame. Right. We're sitting in that 118, 127 zone also here. Right. So if we stay above this daily level, we look for this to turn over and press back to the upside. We break below it, right? We'll look for continued push to the downside. Okay. That's oil. Desi, what you looking at on oil? Joy, what you looking at on oil? What you guys seeing?
Good morning.
Morning.
On the 4 hours, my fib is going up, so there is a deep retracement there.
On the 4, you got another fib. Oh yeah, right from this low. Yeah. Yep. The reason I didn't have it running is I was looking at the crown pattern, but you're 100% correct. Right, 618 retracement level there. Shallow retracement 118 and 127. You got the breakdown, deep retracement here. Right, this is what Desi's looking at for that price to turn over to the upside there.
So I'm just waiting for it to cross over the cloud because I don't trust it.
Yep. I'm with you. All right. So we'll see if we get it. All right. That'd be a nice move to the upside there. All right. But good eye. Joe, you seeing the same thing? What you seeing?
Yeah, I picked up that 4 hour up fib. And that's the reason why I know you was looking at the crowns pattern. The crowns pattern. I ain't finished my coffee yet. The King's crown. And I was kind of hesitant because it's in the deep retracement, but I know, with the Canada, you said something about Canada news last night, so I kind of forgot what you said, so that's why I want to double check.
Yeah, we got some CPI data coming in at 8:30. So we'll see how that impacts the CAD. I don't know that it'll drive the oil price, but we'll see if there's an impact. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Any other questions on oil? All right, cool deal. Benny, anything before we wrap it up, bro?
No, man. Great session as always. It's amazing how sometimes you wait and then it gets towards the middle of the week and then you start to see the price action start to move. So it's good to see some things starting to finally rock and roll. But that's how it is when you swing trade.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Some things a little bit different, but great session. Look forward to seeing everybody tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
No doubt, bro. Recess for Euro GBP real quick. Giving you a little retracement right now, right? Broke back below these levels. Strong bearish move. We're coming back to retest those. If we break back above this weekly level, we could see a ride up. But that It's going to take some work. There we go. We'll drop that down. On the 4, right? Fresh AB boundary, right? In that retracement phase, we'll see. So one of two things. If we break back above, you'll see that deeper retracement occur. If this holds, right, we'll look for this. And then see if we get a turnover from there. Okay. So that's something to keep your eyes on there from a 4-hour perspective, right? So you're sitting at that 236 level right now. So monitor that there. Then on the 1, right, similar look to that 4. You got to push. You're sitting at a 50% retracement right now at that weekly level. Okay. So keep that in mind. The D extension on the 1 is right in line with that 118, 127 zone off the 4. Right. So you could get a D extension hit on this push to the downside here if we start breaking through these levels. Okay, that makes sense. Questions on the Euro GBP? Sweet. All right. I'll just kind of repeat, right? It's really, 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 really important for new members to go through the training. Go through the training, right? Start from the beginning, go video by video so that you can really, really start to understand the foundational principles of this methodology, and you're not out here guessing, right? You got to put in the work to really understand how this market moves so that the positions you look to take, regardless of how you choose to take them, you have an understanding of what you're looking for, and you've developed some rules that you'll follow, right? So make sure that you guys are digging into the training and going video by video so that you get a sound grasp of what we're working with. All right. So Ben will be back with us tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Asian session. You guys have an awesome Wednesday. We'll see you tonight. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good session.
You're welcome.